Uh, do we need to reconcile between Allah being merciful and just? Very good question. No, we don't need to reconcile between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being merciful and just. Um, we see this in many verses where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala combines the name Al-Aziz with Ar-Rahim, for example. Aziz, the root word for the ground to be really hard and you can't dig through it. Ardun Azaz. And Rahim, intensely, ever kind and ever merciful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a king and he has all of the qualities of perfection. And perfection entails having majesty and beauty, right? And so Allah's attributes of kindness and mercy and where he pardons and he overlooks people's faults, and the attributes of his rigor and his majesty and his greatness and so his supreme authority are perfectly balanced. I mean, just on a human level, if you had a ruler who just overlooked and pardoned everyone's wrongdoings, people would go around wronging other people. And when they wronged other people, those weaker than them would suffer. So that's one aspect where you can go to one extreme. And then the other extreme would be someone just be completely firm and where it becomes harshness, the slightest thing off with his head, for example. And that wouldn't work either. So we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has absolute perfection, where His mercy is, uh, you know, is juxtaposed with His majesty. So without justice, right, the mercy, its true manifestation wouldn't be understood properly. And the same thing without mercy, the true manifestation of His justice wouldn't be manifested properly. Um, there's this perfect balance. That's why on the day of judgment, la dhulma al-yawm, there's no wrongdoing today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. So people will be avenged if they were wronged by people, wronged by others, and if they wronged some people who wronged others, whether mistakenly or they sincerely changed, there are going to be cases where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate those who are wronged to the point that they will think, you know what, I don't care about me being wronged. I'll happily take this. Not with everyone. We know that certain people of the Zalimin will be punished. So to understand Allah's mercy and Allah's justice properly, we see that He's the Supreme King. And He has all the qualities of perfection. And if there was an absence of this mercy, things would be very difficult. And if there was an absence of justice, things would also be very difficult. So they go perfectly together. So we don't need to, they're not contradictory, right? They're mutually complementary. And Allah knows best.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله